1 minute, you're just like a strange child from Barnsley, and the next minute you're walking through Windsor Castle and curtsying terribly to none other than the king himself.
My dad still calls Katherine Matron. Me and Piper look after Theo a fair bit.
Got you on the babysitter.
Yeah, we had a morning shift.
So she's gone
7:30 came in this morning.
Whoa. Marizanne Kapp, the greatest
amazing
player of all time.
Oh, shut up.
Without doubt. Fact, there was a gap between bat and pad at the moment. There was a spike.
We're talking microscopic gap.
No, it was a decent gap, mate. That was a solid inch.
Played in a lot of World Cups, obviously never won. Definitely thought about and wondered what it could possibly feel like to win a World Cup.
Hello and welcome to For the Love of Cricket show. I'm Ebony Rainford-Brent. She is Katherine Sciver-Brunt and she is Amy Jones, England wicket-keeper and now semi-finalist in the T20 World Cup. Welcome to the show, Amy.
Thanks for having me. Hello.
Hello, good to see you. We're going to get to some amazing cricket in a moment. But before we do, big news on the circuit. Someone was wearing a fascinator recently and has just been awarded an OBE. How amazing was that? Tell us about the ceremony.
Well, it's Mom, actually. It was bizarre. It was one of those things where it was just completely overwhelming and strange. 1 minute, you're just like a strange child from Barnsley, and the next minute you're walking through Windsor Castle and curtsying terribly to none other than the king himself, his Madge. So it was very strange, Ebs. I'm sure you had the similar experience.
We'll get onto that in a minute. What was the whole sort of, like, takes a while to get your outfit right? Did the whole family come down? Give us some more.
The outfit is very stressful, isn't it? Because I see myself as a bit of a tomboy and I just like lazing around in just slacks, comfortable. My sisters both really dolled up, really girly, always trying to put me in dresses, saying you look a chuff, this, that and the other, get some makeup on your Aunt Telly and all that, and I just absolutely hate it. So my sister has about 560 fascinators, and I said, I'm wearing a suit, fascinator, that's not going to work for me. She said, you've got to wear one or I'm going to kill you. And I was like, okay, I'll just see what happens. So I did my hair all girly, first time in about maybe like 3 years.
Full wash and blow dry, yeah?
Full wash and blow dry.
Straighteners?
No curls.
Oh, curls.
Well, because it was hot. That would just end up like Monica, full perm. So then I stuck it in. I thought, actually, that's doing me a favour because it covered up all my roots. So my roots were more horrific without the fascinator in. So I thought, no, that's just giving me the royal edge, I reckon. So I'm going to go with it. And actually it went down well. It was probably the best part of my outfit.
He looks fantastic.
Thanks, sir.
Good to see you. Amy, how does it feel having a mate who's got an OBE?
Yeah, it's pretty cool, isn't it? I think, I think we all knew how special it was for Katherine. Obviously, I think we probably heard a bit more about it every year she didn't get one. So for her name to finally be on the list, yeah, I think a bit of relief for us all. But yeah, obviously very proud of her.
Lol.
Well done, love. Well done. Welcome to the club. And Amy, there's a few in the girls in the cricket team have got, right? Tammy.
Yeah, Tammy. Lottie's obviously got one. Hev.
Is Lottie a dame or?
I think she might be a CBE. I don't think she's quite the dame, or else I would definitely be calling her dame. That would be quite fun, wouldn't it? Ebs, you've been honoured.
Oh yeah, I got. I'm not
quite as
up
good
there.
as the OBE as well.
I'm not quite England's best bowler ever, so I'm all right with my MBE. But yeah, no, it was amazing.
You go Buckingham.
I went to Windsor as well. I went down with Mum. Green fascinator. I had to get a stylist as well.
I need to see a picture of yours.
Yeah, I'll send you a picture. Yeah, green fascinator, full white outfit.
Do you feel really sexy?
Do you know the problem is I'm not good in heels, right? I like flats, but not heels. And so when you do the curtsy bit, like there was a serious he wasn't the king at the time. He was prince at the time. But yeah, no, when I went for the curtsy and nearly went wrong. But yeah, honoured to be in the club.
Mate, there was a picture of me crapping, like peeing myself. Not shaking his hand. See, this is what happened, right? I don't even know what I'm talking about. I met the king, and obviously you have a 5-second practice. So when it came to it, as you know, I'm very terrible at this, and I had this 5-second practice, and then it came to it, and I walked up to him, and you have to be like on an angle, and then when you get to him, and you've got to do your curtsy, and then you've got to back it up, not turn around, you've got to back up, and then there's a handshake timing and all that. Anyway, the reason I was laughing my head off was because I went to him And I was like, okay, remember to curtsy. And I curtsied and bowed at the same time. And I was like, in my head, I was going, oh my God, I've done that wrong. And then I forgot, when do you do the handshake? And I went, no, it's not time. And he was still chatting away. And I'm like, I got no idea what he's saying, because he's like, drop. And I'm like, I'm from Barnsley, I have no idea what he's saying, mate. So then I went to shake. In my head, I was like, this is an absolute shit show. So I was just pissing myself laughing the whole way. Anyway, it was quite fun. It stays between me and the king.
I would pay money to see this ceremony. Anyway, Amy, we've been banging on about ourselves and our gongs for a while. You are in the semi-finals. First of all, how's the tournament been for you? Are you enjoying it? The weather's been good.
Yeah, absolutely loving it. It's been brilliant. We've had some great crowds and some good games. So and quite nice to know that we're in the semis with one group game left anyway. So that's quite reassuring.
Started strong, and because you guys are doing so well, we brought you to an amazing venue. First of all, we are in an amazing penthouse overlooking Lords. What do you think of the view?
It's sweet,
unbelievable.
isn't it? It's just like, I think this is 100-foot balcony, isn't it? When I was talking to one of the owners, she was saying it's the only balcony with this amount of square footage that's literally circling the whole of Lords. So, I mean, I'll put a bid in. Ibs, if you want to club in, maybe we could put like 10 bob. In Yorkshire, that's about 50p.
I think we're going to need every single friend we own. But if you are listening and not watching, then go over to our YouTube channel to check out this amazing penthouse. And whilst you're there, don't forget you can hit subscribe and give us a comment or rating. And if anyone does fancy a home with an ultimate view of the home of cricket, it is available by a sealed bid with all proceeds going to charity, which is amazing. So I'm going to enjoy it. This is mostly the most glamour I'm going to have for a while, so let's soak up the views. Amy, let's get to you. Let's talk more about the World Cup. What's the mood in the camp been like?
Brilliant. Obviously, 4 wins, so everyone's very happy. I think the games have gone really well. Like, we've obviously been tested at times, but lots of people sort of stepping up over the tournament so far. So in a pretty good place.
A big game as well was against West Indies, the kind of top of the table clash. Did you guys feel the pressure, or was it trying to stick to what you know? How did you approach the game at Lords?
I guess there's pressure every game, and then walking out at Lords always, I guess it gets your heart rate going that little bit more. And knowing that if we won, we were through. But it was a fantastic game. I thought it was really exciting, and I guess by the end, nice to win by a decent margin. But lots of sixes
chill
on
now,
show.
can't you? Well, not necessarily chill, because you always want to keep that momentum going, don't you? And I guess you got where the chill comes in. You've got options now, whereas before it could have been a completely different way. Nat might have had to think about maybe joining the team again. Some people would definitely not be able to have a rest, but there are options of potentially resting some people who might be tired. Danny White-Hodge. I've never seen her run so many twos in my life.
She doesn't look tired.
No, she's like literally turned the colour of her shirt, but she is as fit as a fiddle. And you guys have handled the weather so well. It was absolutely boiling in there. I was really enjoying the AC. I'm sure you were as well. I was up in commentary, but how have you... There's been no prep for that, and it's literally just gone bang, 35 degrees. So, I thought you handled that well. How do you think what's gone behind up till now that's helped with that?
Oh, I guess a real push on fitness just overall, over the winter. And I guess when in tournament cricket and just in series, it's just a bit of you're maintaining that fitness rather than improving it. But we had a decent block over the winter, which has really helped. And Danny's fit as a fiddle, and she was
and
feeling
she's making
it. So
you run a lot.
It was
so many twos. We've noticed the running's been phenomenal to the point where Nat's calves can't handle it. Has there been a bit of a push on that?
It's the way Danny plays anyway, and I don't know if it's definitely been spoken about having high energy. Trying to steal as many extra runs as you can, and it's been really good. It's something that they count how many twos we run, so everyone's giving it a good go.
It's been so noticeable for me personally, that the fitness and just how well and it's been done. It's like twos are something you've just got to know, haven't you? It's not something you can think about or take time to see if it's there. You've just got to know. It's just like, you just all seem really switched on.
Yeah. I want to ask as well about the team now looks quite rounded. They've got that partnership which happened between Gibson and Freya Kemp, 61 runs off just 21 deliveries. I mean, it was insane hitting. 84 metre 6 by Gibson, but it feels like the team has now got every area covered, fast bowling, spin, and now that power down the order.
Yeah, it really feels like that. I think, as a batter, we know the depth that we've got now is brilliant, and you can just go out there, play your game, react, and everyone's got so much trust in each other. And that partnership was unbelievable, and some of the cleanest hitting we've seen. So to know you've got those two coming in and what they're capable of is really reassuring as a group.
Is there a gun show going on? So is anyone in there going, right, who's hitting the biggest sixes? I want to beat that. Because you can smoke it when you get your ball in your slot.
I've not heard of any chat. I think Gibbo and Kempy egg each other on, I reckon. Yeah,
I reckon that goes on at range hitting. I've seen them, obviously I've been following the team round, and I sit on the balcony at Southampton. They're all just range hitting. And you do take note, you go, I went top tier. I'm not going to go even.
Nat would be able to. Who do you think would hit the biggest ball? If given a ball in the slot.
With the same bat.
With the same bat.
Gibbo, surely after that. Oh.
She just, when I've seen her hit the ball, as a commentator, don't you? This is either close catch or it's just gone. And when she's the ball, sometimes off the bat is your first indicator, isn't it? And sometimes it looks, she's mishit that. And I'm like, everybody, like someone's under this. Next minute, it's gone 10 rows back. And I'm like, what? That happened in the Big Bash, didn't it? She was mishitting a couple of balls and they were just going. And I was like, what?
Like sixes over cover. Yeah. Flat.
So I'd say she would hit them the furthest, but and the most consistently. And then we've just been treated, haven't we, to some Freya Kemp. Everybody's capable. Nat came back actually from that range hitting session. I'm talking about saying, I've never seen or everyone hitting so many sixes quite so far. She's like probably feeling quite small.
She's going to have to get in the old nets. The one thing I'll say as well, last thing I'll say about Danny Gibson, that 84 metre 6, her feet weren't even in position. So whereas a lot of the time you see the girl, Freya Kemp had a really good base, feet down, technically perfect. I was thinking if Gibson gets her feet like perfect, this is going out of the stadium. So anyway, let's get back to some other questions. Now, something people might not know is you two are besties. And for me, this is interesting because you're kind of quiet, calm, measured. And you're like completely on the other extreme. Talk us through this friendship. How did it start? When did you guys know that you were going to be besties?
Well, I lived at uni for about 500 years.
Yeah,
Gavin never went to uni.
She was clinging on to her youth, weren't you?
I was.
Well, you were the coach, weren't you? And it was very relaxed. It wasn't how it is now, so you probably wouldn't go clubbing with your coach now.
HR,
but back then, no one seemed to mind.
Yeah, so I was like, a 7-year gap roughly between us. And you know me, when I was 18, I was practically out the womb. When I was 25, I was about 16 in my head. I'm probably still roughly 21 now, at the tender age of 41. So it's like, I've always wanted to chase fun and youth in my friendships. I'm not that serious.
You are clinging on.
Yeah. And I've always lived around Loughborough because when I was playing for England, I wanted to be close to where I would train. I didn't want to travel hundreds of miles because, as we know, Ebs, our backs are made of sugar. So I based myself there. Ended up getting a job with the uni as a coach for the women's team there. And Amy, Nat, Beth, Lauren Winfield-Hill, Tammy Beaumont, all these girls just started coming to uni there, and they all knew of them. But as you can imagine, we all became really close-knit friendship group. And then we all got a house and lived together, and we lived together for like 10 years.
Yeah.
Just had a bloody great time. Uni forever.
You were definitely living your youth. Come on, there must be some secrets.
My dad still calls Katherine Matron because that was her role.
Wearing a pinny.
She was wearing a pinny.
Especially of you leading the house with the young pups.
Not a sexy matron.
teaching us how to vacuum, wash up.
I'd be like, you like pigs. I would say I was a good influence, wasn't I?
Very good influence.
In that area, cooking, cleaning. We had, while we were there over the years, Dunks came to Loughborough Uni.
Yeah.
And when she turned up, she would text the girls and be like, I'm hungry. You'd be like, why? She couldn't boil an egg. She couldn't even boil an egg. Like, she would put toast in the microwave or something and be like, is this not how you toast it? So we had to teach her how to cook a little bit. So she'd come over just for a good feed, or else she'd be passing out with starvation.
Yeah.
That's how bad. Like, honestly, I've seen so many uni students come to uni and they have not got a clue. It's like their parents just like, bye.
Send them to Maitre D's house over here. She'll sort them out. Amy, let's talk a bit about your cricket. Just give us a background. What made you want to be a wicket? I mean, your hands, I'll come to that in a minute, but let's talk about what made you want to be a wicket keeper.
Bit of luck, I guess. Playing for Warwickshire, I was rubbish at bowling, so I was building in the slips.
She's got me out though.
I did get Katherine out. Yeah, that's
bowling?
a good one. Yeah.
Mate,
Under lights.
Mate, you said you're an all-rounder.
It's like Lindsay Smith.
Warmley Cricket
right-hander.
Club. So the wicket keeper for Warwickshire at the time went on tour, got hit in the face, broken nose. I wasn't there, but then the next year they were like, okay, we should probably have a backup just in case. So and I obviously just love being involved every ball. It's exciting, and just got very lucky at the start with sort of the level of coaching I received like really quickly with Warwickshire was brilliant. So bit of luck.
Best men's wicketkeeper?
Oh,
Mine's Emma Stoney. Which
Really?
Is
Yeah,
naughty.
no,
I
yeah.
just love how rogue he is. He'd be like, stop. Stop. Just sticks in like that.
It's not technical, is
no,
he?
But just so quick as well.
Yeah.
And best female wicketkeeper? Other than yourself?
of all time, Sarah.
Yeah.
You
Easy.
learned under Sarah, which is pretty cool. Or
Yeah.
around Sarah, at least.
Yeah, I think that was a big influence as well, obviously. I guess trying to break into the team with having Sarah as the wicket keeper and sort of setting the standard was, definitely a big influence on me and pushed me to, try and get close to her, I guess.
No, your keeping is brilliant. Yesterday I was on commentary with Dinesh Karthik, Indian wicket keeper. Every other ball, he was like, "Can we get a replay, please?" And he was like, "And show the," because you were just taking so many like amazing takes. And I think the thing for me with a good wicket keeper, which you do well, Sarah Taylor used to do well, you clean up the little poor throws that others do. I mean, do you get angry if someone chucks one and it should be right in here?
Don't
and
be
you guys,
nice.
you make it look easy, but I'm sure you give a death stare afterwards.
Or I think you wouldn't be able to tell, hopefully.
Amy does not death stare.
No death
I would
stare.
do it for her.
No.
I'd be like, Amy's fuming with you.
I think
She just won't say it.
Amy's really mad. I think I only get annoyed if I miss it. If I catch it, it's fine.
I imagine there's nothing worse when it's hard enough as it is, right? And then somebody throws this horrific throw in and it just clips the end of your finger.
Oh, yeah.
Can you imagine me by a keeper by a stump
You
cam?
lose your mind.
I would. There'd be obscenities, match bans, match fees gone. I want to talk about the Hayley Matthews thing yesterday, but we'll get on
We'll
that.
get onto that.
Yeah.
We will get onto that. And just quickly, in terms of you two, obviously being friends, you would have kept to Katherine. What was that like? Did you ever stand up for her, which would have hurt the ego?
Yeah, at the end,
Mate, I was pulling meds at the end. It's fine.
What was it like?
brilliant keeping to Kathleen. Obviously, just the skill. I think we all know, she had a lot of skill, had it on a string, swinging away, and then nipped the odd one back. And I definitely didn't feel too nervous about dropping any off you.
No, she's not got to worry about irregular bounce at 5'5", has she?
Irregular
So
bounce.
give her an easy job.
But yeah, stood up at the end.
They
Stood
call
up
me
at the end for a
consistent
bit.
Kathy, you know. Know where the
See
ball's
what was
going.
coming.
Yeah.
Nothing too magical.
Could you pick the variations, the bouncer or the slower ball?
Yeah,
Like,
sometimes I used to tell her, should I tell you when I'm going to do it? She'd be like, no.
Yeah, I hate
There's
if
nothing
anyone
worse,
tells me
is
what's
there?
coming.
Is
Then
it
I'm
the
like,
worst?
oh, well, just lose it all. Like,
Because I
someone's
reckon
bounce
you'd
is
go
coming.
early, wouldn't you?
I think just
like
it needs to
bouncer?
be reactive. I can't be told.
Quickly as well, you mentioned it a moment ago, but you weren't part of the squad in 2017 that won here at Lords, but you are part of the semi-finalists now. Do you think that spurred you on a little bit, like seeing the occasion at Lords and knowing what is possible in a home World Cup?
Yeah, at the time, that's probably been the biggest, I guess, not sure what the word is, but had a negative thing that's happened that's had the biggest impact on my cricket there, for sure. Because I think just, I've spoken a bit about it before anyway, a while ago, but around probably just expecting to be there and just be backup keeper, run the drinks and just, cruise a little bit. So then to miss out on that, be here and experience it and like all the mixed emotions that come with that. And so yeah, absolutely now. I feel like being a part of it, it's definitely feels extra special.
Does it feel like there's more pressure with it being a home World Cup?
Yeah, definitely feels like there's more attention, more eyes on us. But I don't know, just I feel like it was more build-up wise, like sort of the anticipation of the first game, and I guess we did a lot of like team media, like leading in. So I think once you get going, it kind of just feels like every other World Cup, but with great crowds and people cheering for you. So,
has there been any like standout moments? Because there has been for me as a spectator, like for instance the Wicket show, things like that, which was just like weird but great. Has there been any like standout moments, like or experiences so far? And that it could even be social media. It could be this program right now. He's top 10.
Obviously,
it's up there.
Obviously.
Playing at Lords, like I think 14,000 people there. Home World Cup.
What about the like Edgbaston? Like obviously that's your most local ground.
Yeah.
That first game was actually so loud, special.
Yeah,
fireworks.
The fireworks. Yeah, like you say, Wicked.
The
big build up.
You didn't get to warm up. They were like,
no warm
can
up.
Everyone get off the pitch for an hour. You lot just come on and just maybe pull a hamstring. You'd be right.
Yeah,
that was
funny.
No,
Edgbaston was that was really cool. And I guess even, probably more nerves as well, which kind of gets you up for it.
Are you like a social media blackout person, or have you seen just how mental it is all over? Because it's literally everywhere, isn't it?
Yeah, I go on it less during, but I'm still like, I still see a lot, and it is everywhere. It's brilliant to see. Yeah,
it's been good to see. And then, if you guys do get over the line or get close to that final, what would it mean for you personally?
I have no idea what that will feel like. It's something that I've definitely thought about and wondered what it could possibly feel like to win a World Cup in general. I played in a lot of World Cups, obviously never won. Because you picture it, don't you? You picture like a game, like a winning moment, like in any sort of tournament you play in, and you're like, I think it would just be incredible.
It's got a special feel to it though, this one, I think. It doesn't feel like the ones before. I just think you've got such a complete team. Like the batting's deep. I've never seen so many bowling options, and these are the things that I'm saying that Australia have normally got for the last 20 years, and you like have them now. And it's like when in 20 overs, space of 20 overs, you don't normally all get out. You don't normally all only have 5 bowlers that need to bowl 4 overs. So it's like, you've got so many options and so much confidence now to play with, and that for me is the key to winning tournaments like this. Is belief and confidence. Like everything else is a given, The talent is already there. Yeah.
Well, you're looking good. You're mostly heading off to the team hotel in a moment. Just before you go, what's it been like? Are these guys keeping you entertained with Theo and the crew? Daisy's in there?
Yeah, we've got a few babies now knocking about, which is great. Definitely adds another dimension to, I guess me and Piper look after Theo a fair bit, and it's, good switch off.
She's got you on the babysitter.
Yeah, we had a morning shift.
So she's gone
7:30
8 months.
Came in this morning.
Whoa. She's gone at 8 months of the year, right?
Oh, yeah.
She's got to pull her pants up now and be a proper auntie. This is Theo's godmother. So, if I fall off this balcony right now, she's got Theo 24/7.
I'm loving seeing this friendship evolve. It's gone from you running a household, taking them clubbing, to now putting your baby in a room at 7:30 a.m. for
training me up,
the thing is, right, so obviously Piper is... she's an Australian Perth girl. She loves getting up early, because if it's 40 degrees most of the time, you got to get up in the cool. And so she loves getting up early. She's like, if you're ever wanting a lie-in, literally text me. I'll knock on your door at 6 to take him away. I was like, are you free every day of the week? So I was walking back from Lords with her last night, and she offered it out, and I just said in a fraction of a second, yes. Does the bear shit in the woods?
Well, look, Amy, thank you, first of all, congratulations for getting to the semi-finals. Well done for also doing that whilst keeping Theo well looked after. And we've really enjoyed having you on the podcast today.
Thank you. Thanks.
Good luck.
First of all, how's Nat?
Yeah, she's feeling 1,000 times better after Wednesday's game, because that was a game where if England lost, there was going to have to be some discussions that she wouldn't have wanted to have, which is we need to play, we've got to risk the rest of the tournament. Whereas now that's sort of gone out the window. We can make other decisions, give her more rest if you need. I think at this point, I was talking to Ish the other night, and we were saying that she's already sort of been through that phase of, I need the cricket. I've got to have the cricket, and then I'll come back. I'll take the risk to get the cricket under me, and then we'll go from there. And then obviously she got injured again. But with that, we were saying now she's got the confidence to not have to think like that again. She hopefully now will feel I can just rock up to the semi-final and it'll be okay, because I played those 2 games. I got 50s in both, and I know I don't forget how to ride a bike. Like I can just do that. It's never a brilliant feeling, is it? You always still want that, but I think they'll put her heads in a better place now with it, and the decision and the options of potentially resting a Danny White-Hodge after running 1,000 miles is up there, isn't it? Because they're still going to be in 35, 37 degree heat, so it's going to be important to make some smart decisions, I think. But it wouldn't surprise me if it just kept the same team.
Well, good to see that she's on the recovery. Got a little bit of time with the semi-finals around the corner. She must be pleased with the fielding, because there's a few blinders pulled off. One of them, Alice Capsey taking Deandra Dottin on the boundary. How good has England fielding been? Yeah,
I think they got quite a bit of a knock. I'm not going to lie, on Wednesday, they still got a knock. I was on commentary and there were comments there of, they've dropped 5, 6 catches, and the last time this happened was October 2024 World Cup. That was the last time when they had that howler. And I was thinking, guys, 5 out of 6 of them would have been, world-class catches. Just give them a break. Like, we're not talking absolute dollies. Deandra Dottin dropping header, that was a dolly. These catches were like full stretch above the head, diving full length forward at extreme pace. Off your own bowling, and your follow through, it's been smacked at you as hard as it possibly could be. These would have been exceptional catches. Obviously, if they're taken against someone like Australia, then that's that 5% you absolutely need. But we can't criticise. They're not drops to me. They're opportunities, but I'm not fazed by that at all, and Nat is extremely happy with how things are going and how it's looking.
One person who won't be happy from the Lords game is Hayley Matthews. I was on commentary, and just for context, in case anyone didn't see it, there was a catch behind Amy Jones, who was up here earlier. I should have maybe put her under pressure. So did she hit it?
You always trust the keeper, though, don't you?
Yeah, so Amy Jones went straight up. Hayley Matthews...
there was a noise.
Waved her head straight away saying no. She is a walker, Hayley Matthews, so I get it. But on commentary, there was a gap between bat and pad. At the moment, there was a spike.
We're talking microscopic gap.
No, it was a decent gap, mate. That was a solid inch.
Yeah, but we had no zoom in because the technology's pants. There's frames missing.
There's frames missing.
I feel like the tech could be better to make absolute conclusive decisions. And for the life in me, I looked at, what else could it have been? Because normally the bat would be close to the floor, right? And or you'd have the inside edge of the bat on the inside of the pad flap. But I was thinking that none of that.
But the on-field umpire didn't give it either.
But it can just roll off the face too. And I know you're saying there's a gap. And
well,
I'm
roll
not
off
saying
the face with an inch, mate. Come on.
Mate, an inch. It was like Rizzler paper.
Well, look,
so
we are disagreeing.
She could have had the sticker, the translucent sticker on her bat sticking out, and that counts, mate. That's part of the bat.
I can tell you're still in the England camp, can't I? Well, anyway.
If I was batting, I would have been spewing, but I wouldn't have quite gone to that.
Well, the talking point is not actually the decision. The talking point is Hayley Matthews losing her absolute mind, which this is the sort of thing that you would have done. What did you think of her reaction? I mean, she straight away
went
at everyone.
I love Hayley. She is a mate, and I spent time with her at the IPL and stuff like that, and I love her to death. And I know what it feels like to be that passionate about what you're doing. And in the context of the game, it was huge, right? Of course it's huge. They could have had an explosive power play. She stays in long enough, the damage she can cause. So she knew, and we all knew, how important it was, but you just absolutely can't do it. And definitely not as a captain. Like, if she doesn't get a potential 1-match ban and a fine, I'll be surprised because of the amount of dissent. It's just doing that is dissent. Having a conversation saying I don't agree is dissent. Taking your time to walk off the pitch is dissent. And then she went and talked to the third umpire off the pitch, and I'm pretty sure I saw bullshit. And I thought, yeah, fair, Hayley, but we've got to keep this inside. Shush, Hayley, go sit down quick. But no one was pulling her away. The coach wasn't there. None of her
I think
teammates.
it's because they agreed. So anyway, it's not great.
I'm not happy. I get it, but I'm a bit worried
Hayley.
about what's going to come from it. Her interview after was great. She said all the right things.
The only question, I don't know enough, but hopefully it doesn't affect the next games incoming, because
Yeah, it would be a shame to lose her.
they still need to win that last game against Ireland. So
absolutely.
let's see how it plays out. And before we get to the big guns who are going to be in some of those later stages, one thing that hit my heart this week, I have to say, I've been retweeting everything because Chamari Athapaththu said that she's a failure as a captain. First of all, most captains who are crap don't come out sort of saying that publicly, and she was like putting her heart on her sleeve. But then she went and smashed 100, and there was an amazing bit of commentary from Nat Sciver-Brunt where she said, "You're not a failure, you're a champion," and this 100 really showed it. But I felt really sorry for her because she's kind of been leading and dragging in a lot of ways Sri Lankan cricket to the level it's got to.
I think what you saw is the answer to why she doesn't score runs more consistently. She scored that 100 because there was nothing on it, right? They were already out, and let's be honest, that's a lot to do with why she got that 100. So there's your answer, guys. Let's have more. We need more contributors. We need her not to think that it's absolutely all on her. And then look what can happen when it is like that. She can do these magical things that we all want to see, and so I hope that they can find a way to do that.
Let's get on to two of the big teams, Australia and India. First of all, my Instagram comments still keep coming up that we put Australia as having a shock. I didn't say they're going to not make the semis.
I think we've got to go to a blue in the face.
I'm going to dig deep and say they're going to have a shocker. Yes, they look on track for this semi-final.
Let's change our chat, because if we change our chat, they might lose.
Okay, what shall we say?
No, they're just going all the way to final.
I can't say it. It can't come out of my mouth
Flawless.
that I'm giving Australia.
Well, how are we going to... We've got to jinx them somehow.
Are you bored of watching them win?
I'm so bored of watching them win, and I'm bored of watching them do it really well. I just want to see... Well, everybody... we're not alone, mate. Apart from the whole of Australia. Discard them. Everybody else wants them to lose, right? So I'm happy to be on that level. But there's a lot of girls in there that I really like. Good mates with, but I do want to see them lose. I just don't want to see them in the semi-finals. I'm so bored of it. Are you?
Well, the other thing as well is like Elise Perry has been like player of the tournament for most of these tournaments for the last 10 years. She got 71 against Pakistan, and you kind of just look at the experience and the quality they have in that lineup. I mean, what are they missing?
Mate, the terrifying bit is that Phoebe Litchfield, for me, is their best player in that batting order in terms of current form. So that's the terrifying bit, is that she's going to come back. So let's hope she don't come back.
Well, if you're giving advice to the other teams, because you have bowled to the Australians, how do you get them out?
You got to somehow build pressure, right? You got to be as professional and as controlled with the ball for exceptional amounts of time. Like I'm talking switched on, beyond switch on. And you've got to make them they have to make the mistakes. And generally that comes with semis and finals, that kind of pressure. So there's not a lot you can do in terms of watching billions of hours of footage and working out a way through. There are obviously, everybody's susceptible in the first 6 balls, as we know, but there's only so much of that you can do where it's just hard work and a lot of the time, mate, a bit of luck, as we know.
There was lead on the luck.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Sophie Molyneux as well before we move on. Look, I didn't have her down as the obvious Australian captain choice because, they're stacked with the Ash Gardners and maybe an Alan Bell Sutherland. Well, she's come in and done a pretty good job. What have you made of her captaincy?
She has, hasn't she? I wasn't sure about Molyneux as captain at first, but then I heard from a lot, because no one really knows Molyneux, right? She's quite quiet, reserved. We've not seen much of her. She's constantly injured, which, obviously not her fault. And I've felt terrible for her because she finds her way back in and then she's been back in, and that must have been horrible for the last few years, and so she's just sort of come back in, steely-faced. Everybody respects her, everybody looks up to her, and she just goes about her business like some sort of silent assassin, doesn't she? No emotion, just does the job, and she does it so clinically. That's the scary bit. She doesn't actually miss her mark a lot. And she's so far been very good for Australia, and I can't fault that.
Well, let's talk about India. Everyone, including us, had them lined up for the semi-finals, and they are wobbling a little bit. Shikha Pandey, who's not part of the
That was a wild game the other day, wasn't it, mate? Against South Africa. Wow.
Well, Marizanne Kapp, the greatest player of all time.
Oh, shut up.
Without doubt. Fact. I mean, you know what it is?
Ebony.
No, she is. I'm sorry. I know I love English cricket.
Nat
I think what it is, before we get to India, is that I think South Africa for many years have been under-resourced compared to England, India, Australia. So South Africa punch way above their weight. And the player that does it in the tough scenarios is her. Like, she does it bat, ball, field, and you're like... If they had all the resources that England had over the years, I would say fair point, But, they're a gritty team.
They are. They've got that South African, I want to swear, in Yorkshire. We call it a bit of bastard. You got a bit of bastard about you. She's got that. Like everybody said, when everybody's asked about Marizanne Kapp, what's the first word? And they're like, scary. That's the first word. And it's because when she's playing, it's life or death, right? And if her teammates aren't pulling their weight, it's life or death also. So she plays in the way she expects everyone else to play. She's extremely passionate. She will fight to the very death. And it means everything to her. And I absolutely love that bit about her. And as I say, she's obviously got bundles of talent. And she's relentless. It's consistent and relentless. And that's the eliteness in a player, is the ability to just keep on churning it out game after game after game, no matter the injuries that she's carrying, because I bet she's got about 4 nickels. She was strapped to death under all those clothes. And props to her. She's been their best player for a long time, and when they lose her, that'll be a big one, won't it?
Well, she's definitely in the Rage 11, which also includes you and Harmanpreet Kaur from India that I want to talk about. Harmanpreet Kaur is really, strike rate is maybe been a little bit slow. Shikha Pandey from India has been talking about that. Do you think they got a problem?
No, I don't, because I feel like Harmanpreet, I've seen her hit 90 off like 36 balls, of which 10 of them were like dots. I'm not sure that's possible, but it was roughly like that. And at the beginning of it, they were all dots, and we were like, what on earth is she doing? Was she chasing 220, and then all of a sudden 6-6-6-6-6, and so she's got that in her, right? And that's the worrying bit. You don't forget what you saw that one time there. And I don't think she'll forget. I think she did an interview not so long ago where she was saying, when I look at this total, I look and see how many sixes I need to hit to win. And I'm like, seriously? I love that. Because she's just like, there's no sort of total big enough for me. I can hit sixes, and so if I need to, I will. I'm not too, obviously, forms, it's a horrible thing, isn't it? You're either in it or you're not. And if you're not in it, you're always fighting to be in it. And sometimes that's the downfall, isn't it? But there's always something in you. I would say that Kapp has looked average leading up to this tournament with the bat for quite some time, and then all of a sudden that. So, mate, they've got it in them. I'm not worried for them. I'm actually scared. What do you think? Because I think there was some chat about Risha Ghosh needing to come in a bit earlier. I don't want to give them that idea, because I think that's a good idea.
I think the only problem for me when you are one of those players that comes good later, Deandra Dottin can be a bit like that, nothing, and then goes big. But then the problem is, if you don't then bat long enough, you've left your team in a little bit of problem, and then you need to catch it up with Risha Ghosh, etc. So for me, they need firepower following the opening batters. Sri Charini, you called her before. She's leading the wicket taking at the moment. And what have you made her? We're doing all right with our selections.
Yeah, I think we have been good for the most part. It's just the Australians are really annoying us. I did say that the Kiwis would have a hard time of it and the Windies would go through with us. That's got a little bit of a wobble on at the minute, so I think we've done well on our predictions. And yeah, she is quality. We've seen how that sort of player has been dominating through the IPL, and that's why she's here. Yastika Bhatia, literally nowhere, and then she turned up. This is like, right, Yasti, what are you doing here? And suddenly, like, her knee injury's better, and they're straight back in the team. It felt like out of nowhere, but these girls, you know, they've come through that and they've been brilliant and they've got these opportunities. It's a shame about, is it Shriyanka? Rolled her ankle, didn't she?
Yeah.
She is high quality. When she's at her best, she's tough. So people would be glad to see her sat down.
Well, look, there's one big game left in this group stages. India are taking on Australia.
Big one.
And not only do India need to win to keep their semi-final hopes alive, net run rate's going to come into play. So
I think
how do you
I
see
like that. I think I like. Do you like that? I like that for them in that when their back's against the wall. I feel like that's when they, especially someone like Harman, the best comes out of her. Jemima Rodriguez, when her back's up against the wall, her best comes out of her. What's your take on that?
Yeah, I think they are that sort of type. I think they're a bit like West Indies, actually. I was just looking at it yesterday. They have a very high win percentage in tournament cricket, but outside not so. So I think India are a bit like that. They like to turn up for the big game. So it will be good if they...
I think I'd like them to chase.
I'd like to see them beat
Indian
Australia. Sorry, all Australian fans. So finally, the semi-finals will take place at the Oval on Tuesday the 30th of June and Thursday the 2nd of July. But they will be at different times. Tuesday is 2:30 p.m. and then Thursday later at 6:30.
If you want to wish me happy birthday, that's fine.
When will your birthday be?
2nd of July.
Oh, 2nd of July, is it? You're near my mum. All right, we'll see what we bring you for the old day if you're lucky. All right, thanks so much, Brunty. Can't wait to celebrate your birthday next week. And of course, what a venue we've had today. A massive thanks to Loughnan Charitable Trust for letting us film here in this incredible penthouse. All proceeds from the sales will go to charity, including support for grassroots cricket around the world. We'll be back next week reflecting on the world of cricket, both semi-finals, and fingers crossed we'll be looking forward to England in the final. Until then,
Chira, love.
Chira.